bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 ba-da-da-dum bum bum ba-dum ba-ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 ba-da-da-dum bum bum ba-dum ba-ba-dum. Hello, my friends. Good evening. It's Monday, and you know what we do on Mondays. We meet every Monday to do one thing and one thing only, and that is to discuss homeopathy. I teach you what I know, and you share with each other, and you learn how to find out more and where to go to get that information, etc., etc. My name is Joette Calabrese, friends. And for those of you who don't know me, this is what we do. And for those who do know me, hi, friends. Hi, Bob and Deb. Great to see you. Hi, Diane from San Francisco. Happy Monday from Oklahoma, says Angela. Brenda says hi from Connecticut. And Pat from Kansas. And Diane from Arkansas. I love when you tell me where you're from. I love it. Sharon from Nebraska. Where are our Canadian friends? And we have a couple of great Brits. Kristen from Japan. Hi, Kristen. Leslie from Kansas. Hi. Ruthie from Texas. Wonderful to see you all. So good. Yes, Susan. Hi, Susan from New Jersey. Thanks for always joining me. Thanks for all of you for joining me, for having faith in what I teach you, and for really supporting this movement. It's a very important movement, and I have devoted my time to this because I feel this is extremely important. I hope that you devote your time to learning more to help yourselves and your families, and then pass the information along. Here we go. Ajax, Ontario, from Rona, or Ron, I think it's Rona. Hi, Raina. Hi, hello from oh my goodness, is this my Raina? The Raina that I know? That I just texted this morning. Hi, there's Fadhil from Malaysia. Wonderful to see everyone. Gloria from North Carolina, and Tom from Ohio with smiley face. Brenda from Georgia. Robin, hi. Thank you, Joette. We can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough, because I always say, there was a time when I used to discuss this, talk about this, and people were not listening to me. Smiling Tree Branches from Mexico City. Wonderful. Yes, it is. It's my Raina. Oh, my goodness. So great to see you all. Hi, Donna from Florida, and Jennifer from Oak Brook. Tina from South Carolina. Greetings from Deborah in Wichita. So good to see you all. Okay. I want to show you some stuff, and I've kind of shown folks this before. But I've got a cottage that we go to in the summer, and I've got more antique remedies there. But I wanted to show you my oldest remedies. And first I'll show you one bottle that's from this kit that I'm about to show you, a box. This one is Ignatia Amara. And you can see, it's labeled there. The pills have gone yellow. They're actually brown. When you think about it, they're kind of brownish yellow. And there's a cork top, and of course it's glass, and it's little, a font from about, my guess is that this is probably from about 1915, something like that. I've been given a lot of remedies as gifts from clients, and who have had them for years. And I'm going to show you, I have this shadow box, and I keep this right outside my office. I'm going to show this to you. It has a little kit in it. You see that kit? Try to leave it above the lamp because the reflection is awful. Let's see what we can do here. There we go. You can see all the bottles. And I took that one bottle from that space there, the second one down. They're different sizes, and that's a leather case that's pretty beat up. And it's got I guess I would call it a velvet lining. Now you see this part here. That's where I took this little booklet I'm about to show you. The booklet and the remedies manufactured by Borky and Taffel. homeopathic pharmacy that's been around. They've been established since 1835, and they mostly sold remedies and their booklets in New York, Philadelphia, and Boston. So it's a medical index. You can see how worn out it is. See, it says Borky and Tafel. And these are all the cities that they've published in or that they've sold in. So sell their products. Oh, I've got tape in the back. I have to be careful with that. So Philadelphia, New York, Chicago, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati. There we go. And then the little booklet has conditions. Let's see if I can open this up too. First, it's got a little materia medica. You have to be ever so careful. So you can see it's a very, a short paragraph for each one. As you can see, calcarb there, right there. It's a little bit of information on calcarb, and a little information on carbovegetables there. And then it's not only do they have the little materia medica, but they also have, for example, let's look at sore throat. They give you the remedies. They tell you which one. I'm going to read it to you and then I'll show you. Inflammation with redness, dryness of the throat, much pain on swallowing. Think of belladonna. They didn't say think. I'm saying belladonna. 1 dose every hour will generally suffice. Isn't that fascinating? Kind of a protocol, wouldn't you say? When a throat is raw, consistent swallowing, glands swollen, breath offensive, guess which one it is, friends? I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to show you what it looks like. But I want you to tell me about that. A breath offensive is the key aspect of this one. See if you can tell me which remedy that would be under sore throat. I'll read it again to you. When the throat is raw, constant swallowing. Now, constant swallowing, another way of perhaps saying that is that there's excessive saliva. Wow, so cool. Yes, fascinating. Priceless. Yeah, it is priceless. It does. Merc Sol, says Phoenicia. You're absolutely right. Merc Sol. Merc Sol is the remedy. Yeah, mercurius. And then aconite, they say, for high fever, dry heat, great thirst and restlessness, difficulty in swallowing or speaking, burning or pricking sensation. Remember, this is all around a sore throat, okay? Throat very dark red, too. The next one is ulcerative. I'm not going to tell you which one this is. Let's see. This is a little more difficult, okay? Ulcerative sore throat with yellow patches. And then sore throat of smokers is capsicum. That's a cool one. But ulcerative sore throat with yellow patches. And when I teach this particular remedy, I don't teach it specifically for sore throats, even though it is a great remedy for sore throats. It's also a wonderful remedy for something else that I talk about that's kind of in this area. Somebody's saying heparsulf, Merc Sol, sulfur. No, it's a little bit harder. If I give you another clue that it's specifically for sinus issues, especially when there's pain as a result of a shift in the barometric pressure. So the barometric pressure change causes Irene from Montreal. Twyla says sulfur. Sulfur could be any of these. Any other hints? Well, I'll give you the other hint is that it's very painful on stooping. The sinus pain is really painful on stooping. Worse, I know this is sinus. Right now we're talking about sore throat. Calibicromium. Callie, you've got it. Elizabeth, and yep, you got it. Carrie, yes, that's right. Calibicromium. Kirsten. Oh, it's Kristen, excuse me. Yep, good job. Very nice. So what they're doing here is they're giving you this Borky and Tafel, are giving you the name of the condition, and then 2 or 3 remedies that could be considered. Not unlike the way I write my blog. Sometimes I write my blog and I give you the most powerful medicine, or the medicine that is related to most conditions. Excuse me. Let me start over again. The way I write my blog often is I give you the name of the medicine the potency and the frequency that is the most commonly used medicine for that particular condition. And that means it usually has the best results for that condition. But what they're doing in this is giving you a little differential. Okay, now we also have under H, we've got hiccup. See, it's very short little, just one little sentence. Under hiccup, the chief remedy is... I don't use this remedy for hiccups. It's really fascinating. And you learn something new every day. Not that I wouldn't use it. The chief remedy for hiccups is nux vomica, is what they're saying. Isn't that fascinating? Normally, I would think of mag phos or cuprum. In obstinate cases, try ginseng. Now, let me tell you something fascinating. I had a case years ago of a man who had gone through surgery. What kind? I think it was abdominal surgery. I don't remember exactly what the surgical what surgery he underwent. But as he came out of surgery, as he came out of the general anesthesia, he started to hiccup. And he was hiccuping for days. And we're not talking about, we think of hiccups as just a mere inconvenience, perhaps, and maybe not even that. Sometimes we think of it as something funny. It wasn't funny for this man, and it wasn't an inconvenience. It was, he really suffered horribly. He couldn't sleep. He could barely eat or drink. He was suffering horribly. And his wife's sister, as I recall, got a hold of me. And I used mag phos, and it did act pretty quickly. We put it in hot water, mug phos in hot water. It worked pretty quickly. But it's interesting because if nux vomica is one of the main medicines that Boraki and Tafel believes is valuable for hiccups, nux vomica would have worked. I'm almost certain. Why? Because it was likely a reaction to the general anesthesia or one of the drugs that he was given that may have brought it on. It could have been the cause, the etiology of the condition of hiccups. So this is a great little booklet. I wish it was still available. Maybe it is. If you take a look, sometimes these things are available, not of course in paper form, but it's called Medical Index, a guide to the homeopathic treatment, together with a descriptive catalog and price list. Yes, presented by Boraki and Tafel. And that's what it looks like. It's surprising how often you can find these kinds of things online. And you can download them. They're in a PDF file or something. Nux is a polycrest, says Elizabeth. You're absolutely right, which means that, of course, it has many, many applications. I hate hiccups when I get them sometimes for days. No laughing matter either. Mag phos worked beautifully for me. Good job. And Lois in Oklahoma says, many years ago, a pope got hiccups and he had them for days. They even reported on the radio how long he had them. This was before we had a TV, so very long time ago. Very interesting. Yeah, it sounds like something that's humorous, but it really is not. Okay, that is my beautiful remedies, which are so cool. Now, I have another little collection of homeopathic remedies, and I used a dose years ago when I acquired it. And in spite of the fact that the remedy was over 100 years old, the remedy was over 100 years old, it acted. Now, this happened a couple times to me. I was doing research in the University of Buffalo's library years ago to put together my Gateway to Homeopathy book. Actually, it was the predecessor to that. And I went to do research there because the University of Buffalo was associated with the Buffalo Homeopathic Hospital that was a stalwart hospital in Buffalo, New York. Is one of the most beautiful sections of Buffalo with a turnaround and right in front of it with a fountain and flowers and well tended, etc. Anyway, that was when that hospital closed and became Millard Fillmore Hospital. It was called Buffalo Homeopathic Hospital, and it was renamed Millard Fillmore Hospital, and homeopathy was quashed at that time in the late 1940s. The records and the information from that hospital, a good amount of it went to the University of Buffalo Library. And so I went to that library to see what they had. I was hoping to find records from the hospital itself and be able to check out what diseases were treated and to what degree they had their successes, etc. And so I just also have to say, that's why I'm hesitating, I was actually born in that hospital. I was born in 1952, and the hospital changed its name, I believe, in 1947. So I missed it by 5 years to have been born in a homeopathic hospital. And if I had my druthers, I would have chosen to be born at home. That would have been my first choice. But if I had to have been born in a hospital, a homeopathic one would have been really nice. Because my mother was subjected, and so was I, and so was my brother a year and a half later, subjected to all measure of ill-chosen ideas. So, alrighty, let's see what else we've got here. I want to show you something else. Yeah, hiccups can be quite painful, says Thomas. It's almost like getting punched in the stomach each time. Yes, when it goes that far. I had hiccups for 7 days, tried several remedies, but finally, almost immediately, camphor stopped my hiccups. Isn't that interesting? Yes, and camphor is a remedy in and of itself, and I don't know if people understand that. Because I always talk about camphor is the medicine that we use to antidote conventional drug ailments from conventional drugs, as well as ill-chosen homeopathic medicine, so that you can start afresh and use a fresh schedule. In homeopathy, we often just use a dose of camphor 200, one dose one day. Would you refer to this hysterical reaction to anesthesia? It could be. It certainly could be. It could be hysterical. Yeah. Alrighty, now let me show you another kit. This is a kit that's made by Standard Homeopathic, and that turned into Highlands. So I don't know exactly how they had that laid out, but Standard Homeopathics was the manufacturer, and Highlands also was maybe it was a subtitle or a sub company. And this was my kit that I purchased in 1987. When I was pregnant with my first child, and I talk about that story. I was pregnant with him, and I bought Dana Allman's book, Everybody's Guide to Homeopathic Medicines, which I have somewhere back down here. It's probably right about there. I should probably pull that out so you can see that too, but that's still being sold. It's a very good book for people starting out, especially for acute conditions. And this, I still have this. And it's not for posterity. It's because I still use it. Now, I've replaced a lot of them. You see, these are the originals, all the white ones. And then I've run out of them or lost them, or the dog got a hold of one and chewed it. Buster actually got a hold of a couple remedies once and chewed them down and broke them open. And two of them have not been replaced. And then I've added a few remedies in there. And what I have liked about this particular kit is because the bottles are a little bit larger. Now, there are only 29 remedies. So that's the downside. If I had my druthers, I would have a kit that has a lot more. And here are all the remedies here. And this is all in the 30th potency. By the way, my antique kit down there is all in 3Xs. Yes, that Ignatia was in a 3X, Belladonna in 3X. And the other remedies that I had in that kit, I'll read to you, were Ignatia, Bryonia. That's this one. Ignatia, Bryonia, Rustax, Belladonna, Chamomilla, Arsenicum. I think it says Natmure, but it's a little rubbed away. And they're in 3Xs. And that was a household kit. That was not what I would call a professional kit. Professional kits, the doctors who carried professional kits, of course, had many, many more medicines. And this is a household kit as well. Look how long this has lasted. It's actually a little bit yellowed around the corners, but it's held up. It's a great, great little kit. They don't sell it any longer. And soon we are about to launch a kit with my name associated with it. And there'll be 47 remedies. Is it 47 or is it 46? I think it's 47 remedies, and then a subsequent second kit that will accompany it with another 46, excuse me. And so we will be, I'll let you know when we launch that. Harry says, Buster knew how to repertorize. I bet he did. Yes. Everybody's Guide to Homeopathic Medicines, Dana Ullman's book. I have that Dana Ullman book, and it's a good book. Yeah. You know what's good about that book? I mean, besides the fact that you can use it to find conditions specifically, read the beginning of it, friends, so that you really get an understanding. He has a little more of a classical bent, but again, it doesn't really matter so much because they are all acute remedies, acute conditions, I should say. Robin Murphy lists camphor, says, for snake bites, yes. Do you have any experience using it that way, Joette? No, Elizabeth, I don't have any experience. I've treated snake bites, but I've not used camphor, but it's a great idea. Let's see. Let's see if we got any other questions. Would you refer to it as hysteria? Okay, I already answered that. Let's see. Hiccups. I love that you're bringing forth your experience with hiccups. I had a few remedies 25 years ago that were in brown glass vials. I think they were standard from Toronto. Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, it could have been standard from Toronto. Well, this is standard that I just showed you. And you know, the thing is that even though the U.S. and Canada have so many great relations, and you know, having grown up in Buffalo, Canada's 5 minutes away, literally. We just go downtown Buffalo and drive over the Peace Bridge, the big bridge that runs over the mouth of the Niagara River, and at the lake, at Lake Erie, and we're in Canada. And so we always thought that it was pretty almost one and the same. But the regulations for pharmaceuticals and what homeopathic pharmacies are required to follow are much, much different in every country. So unfortunately, it is difficult for us to count on Canada being having the same availabilities as we do in the U.S. and vice versa, I might add. Okay, I wonder how they treated typhoid fever back then. Well, tell me, friends, who knows how they treated typhoid fever? I've got it right here in my book. Anybody have my survivalist guide? Want to look that up and tell us how we treat typhoid fever homeopathically? That's exactly what I cover in that book, Survivalist Guide to Homeopathy. Yes, because that survivalist guide is truly all about survival. and planning in advance and for extreme situations such as those kinds of diseases. All right, let's see what else we've got here. Excuse me, I'll take a sip of my water. I see you're all helping each other. I love that. Let's see what folks are saying here. My first kit was Boracan Tafel 6X, says Antoinette. Yeah. I have an old Highlands children's kit that has big bottles, but only a handful of remedies in them. It's from 2010s, though, but don't see it available anymore. Yeah. Dr. Burnett had remedies for hiccups in 50 reasons for being a homeopath. Yes, he did. Thanks, Harry, for saying that. Yes. You mentioned cuprum for hiccups. You also said cuprum is what you use for tremors. The Banerjees use cuprum with another remedy. Do you suggest just using cuprum for tremors? It's one of our most important remedies for tremors. Yes, it is. I mean, there are other medicines as well, but cuprum is one of our great remedies. There's also zinc. I could keep going. Okay. Pat from Grand Rapids says it's a great course. Oh, survivalist course. Thank you very much. Fernicia says Baptisia. You bet. That's it. Typhoid fever. Baptisia. So Baptisia is a remedy that I don't use very often, but when you need it, you need it. And it's specific for fevers, a certain kind of a fever, and especially typhoid. Karen says Boracan Tafel sells a rash cream that contains cardiospermum, but I don't find much information on cardio. Am I pronouncing it right? Yes, spermum. Online. It isn't in the Materia Medica. Do you have any experience or knowledge of it? I don't have any knowledge or experience with it, but you can find that in a Materia Medica, probably by the one by Robin Murphy. That is a very thorough book. I would imagine that that's where it is. And Elizabeth says also Lycopodium for typhoid. You're absolutely right. Carrie says, from small beginnings, I raised my kids with the book, A Homeopathic Handbook of Natural Remedies, Safe and Effective Treatment of Common Ailments and Injuries by Laura Josephson. Now I have taken all of Joette's courses. Ah, yes, Carrie. Yeah, nice to see you here. Fernicia says, I used Baptisia 200 the other night for an awful flu and a fever I had a couple of nights ago for the first time and had used it long ago for my baby. And I'm assuming it helped you, Fernicia, or you might not be reporting to us about that. Let's see. Where can we buy your book? Well, the Survivalist Guide, you go to Joette's Learning Center. That's it. No apostrophe, just Joette's Learning Center. And scroll down. You'll see courses, my books, downloads, lots of great information. All righty. Oh my goodness, could it really be 8:28? Oh my gosh, this goes by so quickly. Are these remedies that can be used with pets to deter fleas and ticks? Are there? Yes. If so, which remedies and how long do I use? And I know that Ledum pilastra can be used for tick bites. Do this, Kate. Joette Calabrese ticks. Joette Calabrese fleas. That's how you're going to find a lot of this information. Now, I may not tell you exactly what you're looking for deterring, but I have written a good deal about it. Listen, folks, I've been writing that blog for 14 years, every Sunday night. We publish it every single Sunday night for 14 years. So what is that? 52 times 14. There's a lot of subjects there. And you will find lots of great information. Michelle says, I use the tick nosode. And you know what? I think that tick nosode could very well be quite useful. I also like the book by the veterinary book, the repertory, and any book by Dr. Richard Pitcairn, Pitcairn, Dr. Richard Pitcairn. You can get lots of great information from him. And as far as the tick nosode is concerned, I believe, I'm going to guess that you purchased that maybe from Helios in England. Yes, ma'am. I was able to eat an hour after taking Baptisia for the first dose. I hadn't eaten in 24 hours. Really wonderful, wonderful. Let's see. I don't want to miss anyone. You've got such great comments. Susan says, my first homeopathic book was Homeopathic Medicine for Children and Infants by Dana Ullman. Yep. And Dolly from PA says, I just listened to a podcast about Teddy Roosevelt's trip from the Amazon, and I found myself thinking they should have had a homeopathy kit for all the malaria infection that he dealt with. Yeah. Well, it's amazing how some educated people were, many of the American presidents used homeopathy. And those who are still alive still use homeopathy. They don't talk about it. People don't generally talk about what kind of medicine they use. But speaking of Dana Ullman, he's got a great book called The Homeopathic Revolution. Let's see if I can remember the subtitle. Somebody's going to have it here. And it goes through what famous people and cultural have used, something to that effect. But it's called The Homeopathic Revolution. It is a fascinating book. It's an anthology, I guess, of people who have used homeopathy in the past and what they've said about it. Famous people. Yes, I need Dr. Pitcairn's. I like Dr. Hamilton DVM too, his student. Best remedy for dizziness and nausea. Can't find one that works. Well, I've also written about that, so you can look at dizziness. And but I will tell you that it kind of depends. That's a very broad subject, dizziness and nausea. So if you're looking at using homeopathy for that, you're going to have to dig a little bit deeper for that. Here it is. Why famous? Here it is. Book by Dana Ullman. The Homeopathic Revolution, Why Famous People and Cultural Heroes Choose Homeopathy. And Jill says, to the question about dizziness and nausea, have you tried tobacco? Tobacco is a very good medicine for that. And caladium is another one. We have used Nat Self 6X for one of my daughters. There we go. Very good. My friends, I have to dash off. I've got a group, 9 study groups I'm going to be meeting with tonight. They finish the Gateway to Homeopathy, and when they finish, then I meet with them, and I answer the questions. So 9 study groups. It could be quite a number of people. It's really fun to do that. So my friends, just found you recently through Weston Price. I love it. Yeah, Weston Price Organization. For those of you who need to understand anything about diet, and we all do, it's the Weston Price Foundation. Yes, we're going to have a few minutes with Mighty Members. Yes, for just a few minutes. Perry, are you ready for Mighty Members? Actually, I don't think we're going to be able to do that tonight because my... oh, here he is. Mighty Members. My husband's been traveling and he's exhausted, and I think he told me just before I went on that he was going to lay down and go to bed early, but I think he's here. He just made it just in time. Oh, here we go. Yes, we're going to go. Mighty Members. Yes, hold on, Mighty Members. You can answer a few questions, and then I'll get on to my gateway groups.